2 minutes too.
You do it very well.
Yeah. Lord, we thank you for this other day we have here, another day. Thank you for all the bounties that you bestowed upon us, even though some of us look as though we didn't have much coming to us. But in reality, we have a lot. Look at the other people in other parts of the world on how they live, and look at us. We're doing pretty doggone good. We thank you for that. And we thank you for all the people that's in the armed forces that looks out after us, trying to help us with a safer and better America. And we'd like for you to look over some of our legislators, as they're always fighting amongst themselves, try to come to some sort of an agreement that we can all live with. In Jesus' name we thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We are now in open session. Okay. Citizens remarks, who we got? Hi, guys.
We have Betsy Rice signed up, who is not in attendance. And Steve Thrasher, he was also not in attendance.
Steve Kennedy. Oh,
Yeah.
Steve Thrasher. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The name kind of.
Yeah, he left.
So, did Steve leave?
Yeah, he talked to me out there and we had a phone going,
Okay. Oh, that was pretty quick. Minutes from the last meeting. Has everyone looked over the minutes and read them? I asked for approval of those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. We'll accept the minutes from the last meeting. Correspondence. The only correspondence I have is down along the line there, a little bit under new business, and I'll get to that later. Officers' reports. We'll start with you, Paul.
Everything's still running good pool, nothing new going on there. Attendance is still hanging, which is a lot of evening parties. They're presently having swing this is their week of swimming lessons. And we have parties booked up until the second week of September. We voted to get the handicap swing set at the last meeting.
Yes.
I got the quote for that. It will be $3,369.68. All I gotta do is send the quote back. If they want us, if we want them to install it, it's almost just as much as $2,500.
For them to install.
Yeah.
But
That one
let's-
should be pretty simple, shouldn't it? Or should-
Well, what I'm looking at is liabilities.
Yeah, because
If they come in and install it, the liabilities are off us.
Okay.
But,
Well, the money's there from the,
I mean, I know it's a lot of money.
but we'll know if it's handicapped and it's gonna be done right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'll just sign both of them and send them back and they'll say it's.
I would, because I
It
look at,
was $3,000 and they cut $500 and we get it sent back in the next 2 weeks.
okay, nothing off the installation fee
I
then.
mean, that is the installation fee. It was $3,000.
Oh, I see.
They cut $500 off.
Well, it does seem like a lot of money just to put some bolts in, but,
But it's the handicap one. It's gonna be holding wheelchairs and.
that and it has to have electric run to it that's under a ground fault.
Okay.
And or GFI, whatever you want to call it. And I really think that we'd be better off to let the liability lie on them.
Okay.
But it's up to you all. I mean, if guys will have to make that decision.
I'm make a motion for Paula to sign the papers for the handicap swing and send it in.
I'll second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed?
Was that 2,500 on payment?
Installation.
Installation fee.
Well, that's good, because like I said, that'll be guaranteed everything.
It's 3369.68 for the equipment and $2,500 for installation.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
Well, you know they're gonna have to run underground wiring to that and all that, and
Well, I don't have, I just wanted to make sure that. Oh, yeah, I'm all for that, but,
Okay. I'll sign these and get them in mail tomorrow.
okay.
That's all I have.
Well, I think Film Fest went over pretty well. Not very many complaints, just a few, but I'm not bad. I've sent out 6 letters, 6 more letters for properties. Still waiting on some cards to come back. We have some issues I have to get with Robbie for people that hasn't complied with the letters that I sent to them, so we'll be doing that in the next couple of days. Mickey, here's who I sent them out to just now, with the receipt, I don't know how much. I have one of the report components. Let's skip over and come back.
Okay, we'll move on to Rick, we'll come back to you.
Well, I was up talking with George the other day, everything as far as the sewer line's going, looks to be going pretty good. They've got a lot of it closed up, they ran into a little problem yesterday, but they're working on that, we had to cross a water line. And other than that, everything there looks pretty good. I know the fire hydrant's been tested. We still got a couple things to do, gotta fix one down here, I was told that the truck hit it, so that's gonna be one of our top priorities, try to keep those as good. Other than that, I'll turn it over to T.I.
I'm working on that too, I'm getting closer.
Okay.
First thing in the morning, the lift man, since our men's gonna be doing meters, we're gonna be, working on it. I checked it out. I think everything's okay with it, just got spun around. That's why it's called a breakaway. You don't have to, if anything gets it, it'll turn, either snap off to where it won't damage the whole thing. So we'll just have to work on it to loosen it up. Some of the bolts is really pretty hard, so we oiled them up good the other day and everything. And then just with everything else going on in town, had a couple guys sick this week, so first couple days, one person just kind of hard to try to complete everybody's pleasure, so that's about it. We're getting whatever we can, when we can.
Well, we're still pursuing the fact that, you know, even though if there's no damaged parts in there, we still got man hours into repairing that thing, and, you know, it's something that we wouldn't have had to done had the truck not hit. So Robbie is pursuing that, and we'll talk to him when he gets the police report here.
Yeah, I spoke with another gentleman the other day, stopped him coming into town with a 53-foot trailer yesterday, and we gotta get that sign changed down there.
Rick, I've been trying, I went through the Middle County Development Board, I went through the Kaiser Police, and also talked to the people in Region 8, which they have nothing to do with that. But there's just nothing nobody's doing.
When I came through the other day, there's the big red circle with the
Can I-
line through it.
Can I,
Yes.
when I get mine, I was gonna, I have all
Where
that
at?
two lined up.
And
I
guys
can-
are coming towards Piedmont.
At the fire department?
On mine, if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's too late to turn around.
They're already on West
There
Piedmont
is
Street.
one on Mineral Street.
And the church, now the church took and closed that parking lot
You
off.
can't turn around.
So they gotta go all the way down around the turn up, and then back down on that avenue there, and then spin back around and go down.
When I was pursuing
Yeah,
that,
I seen that sign, it's up from the fire department, by that time, they're only West Piedmont Street, that sign needs to be at the light.
Well, there is
Right there.
one down there, but it just says the road's not suitable for large trucks.
They need to
Yeah.
put
When
that
I-
red thing
when I was
down.
Right,
pursuing
right,
that
dude.
part, when I got them to put those signs up, I contacted DOH and Burlington all the time.
I'll fill you in on all that too.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Like I
let's
said,
move on here. Dawn, you're up. with your water report, you got anything? Okay, tomorrow or sometime when Dawn gets off work, I'm going to take her up to the water plant and show her around a little bit and show her some of the things that's involved in her partay in this council. And whenever she's
We're not good
off,
on work.
probably around 2:15.
I was looking with you, so for a little bit more.
Oh, we can go up there anytime.
Yeah.
But, it's just some things that she needs to know about what's up there, what we have done, and what we need to do yet. All right, moving right along. The little thing that you had right there in your folder, Dawn, it was the little
Right here?
note.
Yeah. Water plant service contract.
Yes. We need to talk about that a little bit, as long as we're on your thing.
It's
That
under new business.
we, yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. We need to talk about that on the road a little bit. Okay, Vicki?
Alright, some of the accounts as of today, 941 account, $5,882.26. General fund, $15,129.58. Phase 2 water, $1,996.94. The pool fund, $2,996.29. Sewer account, $28,635.92. Sewer repair project, $45,513.15. Water account, $3,180.78. And I want to just thank Phil and Carrie for doing an awesome job in updating and getting all the information into the new programs.
Absolutely.
Doing an excellent job.
100%.
I hope I didn't bother you the other day.
You bother him all the time.
I found it.
Okay, moving right along here. Now, Robbie, we're on your report, and you can tell us the fine tunes of this
Okay.
sign.
We thought we had it. I was hoping that Mr. and Mrs. Powers didn't have their times right, but I confirmed with them, the one I got on our camera here wasn't the truck we were after. And I already got all the information from the mill and everything, so I found out, I don't know if you have any photographs of the back of the truck, I
We
think
do
you
have
just got the
something. We do
hydrant.
have something.
the back.
Well, we'll have to see what we have. We do have
Okay.
something.
But anyway, I still have another outlet that I'm looking into now. We possibly may have the right truck because of the time. He was saying it was around 9:52 is when he called here, so it was around 9:45 or so. When you called pretty much right after it happened. And that truck did, like you all said, came from West Virginia, from Kaiser up. I have retouched bases again with Maryland SHA, State Highway Administration, and with West Virginia Department of Highways. Now, I spoke before he was on vacation, so this coming week I'll get on him again, because there's no reason why, Jiminy Crammy, I don't think they have to go through the governor or someone to do any of this stuff, that they can't put better signage up to keep these trucks and give them the information, because like the one guy, I've saved like I don't know how many this week that came in, and I've got everything worked out through the mill, telling them where to go, and you know, re-updating their maps, putting where when it says 3 miles and to turn on a bridge, it's big enough that it says 3 miles to turn on that bridge, which means clear down to McCool.
They need to change their GPS system.
And that's another thing I'm finding. Some of these guys' trucks have their own GPS units in them, because it actually logs, and they can print off on their logs, because they're only allowed to travel so many hours per day. And then they have to take a rest break, and their GPSs show that. The one I saved the other day, his GPS was having him, I got him stopped, I was in my wife's vehicle coming from a picnic, and I had my flashlight out the window flagging, and he pulled in the pit stop, and I got him turned around down here at like 9 o'clock at night. His GPS for his company is taking him 46 east to Route 28, which is in Fort Ashby, 28 north into Cumberland on North Center Street in Cumberland. Their trucks ain't gonna make that. And so while I was there with him, explaining this to him, look, I'm gonna save you an hour and a lot of headache. Cause I'm gonna turn you around right here, run you up 36 to 68, and he scrolled ahead on his company GPS, the big one. He scrolled ahead on that computer and it showed him hitting 68, then 79 north towards Columbus. I said, I'm gonna save you an hour because you're gonna go straight up here 36 and hit 68 and be gone. But these departments, they're gonna send him clear around that way? That's ridiculous, you know? So he made a call to his company, who makes numerous deliveries up here at the mill. And he made a call while I was standing there with him, and he told him, you got me stuck. We could have caused damages here, and you know, this needs to be addressed. So they somehow calculated, they can GPS him, and they calculated where he was at, and they were going ahead and making the corrections while he was getting turned around to leave. And they're going to follow his truck to show him, so that they can keep that updated with the other trucks. Now, State Highway Administration in Maryland, I said, you know, there's no reason why they can't have that sign at the end of that bridge. You know, no truck. Just put, I mean, they do it all the time. Put the truck with a big red circle with the X across. I mean, that way they know not to come over here.
And it doesn't matter what language you speak.
Right, because in most cases, the ones I'm catching, the last couple I've caught clear down here, they're looking for 1 Jones Street. That's another thing I asked the shipping up here at Verso to try to change. They're putting the delivery as to be at 1 Jones Street. And then the billing and stuff is, Pratt Street. Pratt Street, there you go, okay? I said, if they would switch that, you know, yeah, 1 Jones Street's where they're going, but they're not allowing them to go in this gate no more, for some reason. But they could still get them to go down, because now when they go down, they would have the right Pratt Street address, it wouldn't put them here at all. It would keep them on 135. So I've dealt with that too, and that was before the hydrant got hit down here. I was working on that. But it just seems that it goes in spurts. You'll have 5, 8, 10 trucks in a certain period, and there will be nothing for a good while. Am I right?
Well, I must average between 1 and 2 a day, maybe 3 and 4 a day.
And some of these guys, I don't know. They can't hardly read what I'm showing them in these little maps that Verso gives them. I don't know how they got your CDLs. I don't get it. Because I don't know how they're passing through, you know. It just doesn't make sense. But they're getting them, and they're out here on the roads, and we gotta watch for them. So that I'm trying to work on, make more calls next week on the signs and stuff. I'll keep you updated on, and if you, what I was wanting to ask you to do, I mentioned to T.I. about taking photographs while he's doing this. We need to, who you want to point to, can T.I. go ahead and cover the man hours, you know how many mills on it for what they've already done, to sort of, because if I get this company, and their insurance company's gonna pay for the damages, the city to recoup that time they're putting in on it,
Oh,
we
absolutely.
need to figure out a way of getting the time, so we'll know.
Well, you know, even though there is no damage, you already got about 4 or 5 man hours in there, don't you, T.I.? I mean,
Times 3 guys, or 4.
times 3,
Probably 2 to 3 hours of one morning,
yeah, but for 3 guys.
but yeah,
guys.
for 3 guys, yeah.
So if you have any way of just figuring that for me, so that when it comes down to it, then we can,
You keep track of that, T.I.
Okay.
and I hope that I
How
can
many
get it.
hours you say?
He's got about 3 hours, for 3 guys, that's 9 man hours already.
And what we can do is, like I say, if we get hold of the insurance company, what they'll do is they want a breakdown on it of what we got. And then that way we can try to get recouped from some of the money from the insurance. I'm sure their insurance company, you know, especially, but if it would be something would be broken and would cost $1,000, then we need to,
Well, that's why we need to get the damn hydrant turned the way it's supposed to be
right,
and make sure there's no,
right.
It did break just one little link that where the chain hooks.
Right, yeah,
are.
Mr. Harrison mentioned. Now another thing on that same manner, okay, since we haven't been able to get the cooperation, we can't be here 24 hours a day, because I mean, I've stopped trucks in here, one guy going to Wisconsin, same thing, followed his company GPS, same company before, I think it was, I'm not 100% sure of that, but I was here coming in to finish out for the day, be done, turn whatever I had to do in, and I had my cruiser sitting out there at 2:30 in the morning. And I look and I see this truck coming. I'm like, are you kidding me like that? And I heard these outriggers touch And I'm like, oh no, and I jumped in the cruiser, red, blue lights, and I stopped him right there at Fairview, because he sort of like stopped like, I don't know about this. Like, he said, I was questioning this, really I was. That's why I came to almost stop before we even got here. I got him back into Fairview and turned around. He was going to Wisconsin, and it was sending him 46 east, 28 north, and he was going to tack right onto it and run up to 79. You got to get this changed, is they right? Now he was a good guy. He was a cowboy. He could have kicked somebody's butt. But anyway, he was glad, and he thanked me that I stopped him, and he would make recommendations to the company to get work, because they do make more deliveries here too. So, you know, I'll go ahead and do what I can and just keep trying to push on that to see if I can't get them changed. Like I say, Verso's trying what they can to eliminate the issue. And
Kaiser's doing the same thing we are, trying to get the state to put signage up down there.
And it doesn't make a sense why it's got to be like pulling teeth. I mean, when did I ask them about this before? Last August. It'll be a year in August. I got the papers and I got all the people's names I spoke with. Same guy at Maryland State Highway Administration, same guy at Department of Highways, and it's still not done. I mean, am I supposed to call? You know, do I have to call them every week or something? Or you know?
So far, it's been over a year of bringing this up with Mineral County, the Development Authority. I personally never went to state, but the Development Authority, I think, did. I don't know that for sure.
Well, if
They also presented it at Mineral County Days too, Department of Transportation.
Right.
if Councilwoman
Yeah,
Clark
that's right.
had to change her time on her videos, we'd have had him perfect right there. Because she'd have got it, you'd have seen the truck nudge everything. But she just happened to change it the one day and we lost it. So, but I do think I've got it, and we'll do what we can. Now, on another part of it is, and Mr. Powers has asked about before, what is it that we can do? Can I also check with the state about putting something there to protect that hydrant from getting hit again? Let them hit an I-beam stuck down in the ground. I mean, the state has a pile driver. I can check with a couple of the guys I know who are supervisors with DOH and say, hey, can you come up here? It would still allow access to the hydrant for the fire department. But I mean, to let them tear something else up before, you know, stick a pile, when they used to, at one time down in Kaisersley, I saw them on West Piedmont Street, which is still considered Route 46, driving a couple on the corners.
We're having trouble getting a sign. How long is it gonna take before they put?
Oh, it'll probably never happen, but I mean, it's worth trying it. I mean, I'll do whatever I can. I mean, you know, you watch. We probably get the pile drive, we probably get that before we get a sign.
Yeah, probably.
But, I mean, it's something that does need done, I mean, you know?
Well, before we go through all that, it'd be a good idea to call Miss Utility and find out what's underneath all that.
Exactly, you have to do, yeah, all that would have to be done well, and that would be, really, if the Department of Highways does that, that would be their baby to, if there's anything they can do.
Instead of having the state come in and do it, they have them blue or them concrete slabs that just bolts down onto the ground.
They're only as good as the southern.
They're not very, yeah, they'll just pop over. I mean, that guy probably noticed and hit it better, but I don't know how that guy that was driving down here hit it.
Well, that's,
Didn't.
It's kind of looking like a breakaway type
Yeah.
thing, so that way it won't do no damage to nothing, the truck or the fire hydrant. But we gotta protect the fire hydrant.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you know, and I mean, you know, there's not much else you can do, but what we've been trying to do on it, we can keep down better, I guess.
They always had to move the street signs back up further.
Right,
back
yeah,
sidewalk
because of the trucks, they said because they got
tearing them up all
allowed,
the
they got
time.
allowed the trucks to be able to come through, yeah. Well, yeah, there are some trucks, I mean, I know the ones that had deliveries over here, like for the monument company and, L&M and stuff, they know where they're going over here, cause it's normally.
And those experienced drivers never have trouble going around the corner. They
yeah.
never even hit the
And
curb.
thank goodness some of these
It's
guys
the
I
new
had
guys.
in here,
It's those new guys.
they had the 53 footers, but thank goodness that they had the ability to slide their rear axles up and give them a shorter wheelbase, or it would have been an all-day thing. It'd been a couple hours getting around, but they did at least know how to slide their rear axles up and make their wheelbase shorter. So that worked out good. Other than that, if there's nothing else on those, I mean, like, I'm just asking you to keep a track of your hours. That way, if I can get this run down, I'm getting closer. I think we're gonna be okay on it. And all I have to do I'll have a thumb drive with the downloaded video, and it'll have what we can get on it. Hopefully we'll get enough off the truck. We can go ahead and go to their insurance, go to the trucking company, get the insurance, and recoup some of the loss on it. And, you know, at least keep us even on it, you know, so. See what we can do. Like I said, I have been getting issues and caught and you know, I passed them on to Susie, referenced the properties around that are having, you know, blighted properties and different issues with them. And we're working on getting that stuff taken care of, go through the ordinances and stuff, make sure we got everything down to a T and do what we can on that to enforce it. And most of the vehicles have got them straightened around. There's only a couple left that need to be, you know, moved or removed from the streets. And other than that, a few animal complaints here and there. I've got the information to the people for animal control, how to work that kind of stuff out, and everything else is going okay. Traffic enforcement, I'm a little low on citations right now. There's been some that I've had to give a break to because I've been on something else and had to meet someone or do something else. So I'll be doing the same as always, trying to keep it up. Anyone has any questions? Move forward. Good, thank you.
Okay,
I found that's another report.
okay, go ahead.
From Home Fest. For the Home Fest royalty, we did 50/50. We charged $5 for the wristbands, and ran off some raffles. We brought in $1,862.58 for next year. For the bus pool, we raised $659 for the family. So Vicki, I've got money. If you could take it to the bank and get a cashier's check for them. But there's a breakdown for you too. So got a little bit of money going into next year.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, well, that was what we used today, this year, our first couple.
All right, we're gonna move some of the things on unfinished business. We have the chief of police's salary. I'm gonna save that, and I'm gonna talk about that in executive session. That's something that we need to look after. Okay, the next line there is the first reading of the required music providers ordinance.
Okay, this ordinance number 46 amended, tax on theatrical exhibitions. An ordinance entitled, an ordinance to regulate licensing to provide a revenue for the city of Piedmont and provide for the collection of a license tax on theatrical exhibitions, public shows, hypnotic exhibitions, and all performances. Amended to include providing music from a DJ, disc jockey, or karaoke, to which admission is obtained by the payment of money or other reward, and providing for penalties for violations of this ordinance. A business license costing $15 to be computed from July 1st to June 30th annually. The original ordinance number 46 was presented in writing and introduced by C. Bonner Hardigan, a member of the council, who made a motion which was seconded by Councilman Frank E. Dixon, that a reference of this ordinance to a committee be dispensed with, and Councilman C. Bonner Hardigan, William T. Davis, and Frank Dixon voting in favor of said motion. The affirmative vote of 3/5 of the council being cast thereof, the reference of the ordinance to a committee was dispensed with, and thereupon, by motion duly made and seconded, the said ordinance was advanced to its first, second, and third readings. And on motion of C. Bonner Hardigan, seconded by William T. Davis, the said ordinance was put into passage on a vote of yeas and nays taken as follows. C. Bonner Hardigan, yea. William Davis, yea. Frank E. Dixon, yea. And the majority of all members elected to the council concurring in favor of the passage of the ordinance, the same was duly passed as follows. An ordinance amending and adding to an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to regulate license and provide a revenue for the city of Piedmont, and providing for the collection of a license tax on theatrical exhibitions, public shows, hypnotic exhibitions, and all performances, and added to include providing music from a DJ, disc jockey, or karaoke, to which admission is obtained by the payment of money or other reward. An amendment to the ordinance entitled, an ordinance to regulate license and to provide a revenue for the city of Piedmont, to include a license fee of $15 for providing music from a DJ, disc jockey, or karaoke, has been introduced by Councilwoman Vicki Smith, on July 26, 2017, with a second with a vote of first reading of amendment to ordinance to regulate, license, and to provide a revenue for the city of Piedmont, ordinance number 46 amended. Second reading will be August 9, 2017. Third reading will be August 23, 2017. So we need a motion to pass this amendment, or
I make a motion to pass the amendment to add the DJ fee on June number
Are we,
4.
are we making a motion to pass the amendment?
To accept the
Or just
first
have the
reading?
second, or accept the first reading?
okay, well, I've introduced the amendment, and I need a second so that we can put it to vote. Second by Susie Clark.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
All votes yea, and recorded.
And we accept the first reading of the ordinance, right?
Correct.
Okay, and that'll continue on 2 more sessions.
Does that mean it, like, over at the dog's house, sometimes they have a DJ over there, but I don't think they pay them. I think they just go over and play.
If you're
Will they have to,
providing music,
even if they're not paying to get in or paying to be
yes,
paid, they still have to?
whoever is providing the music must have a business license with the city of Piedmont.
Well, how does that work if I decide to have a party at my house and I'm playing music?
That's personal. That's personal at your house. You're not out of business providing a service.
All right.
Does that apply to like bands and stuff, or just the DJs and stuff? I mean, like I know how bands go around to all kinds of cities.
It
I
would
can't
apply
imagine
to
every band
anyone
would come,
doing-
any band, any
doing
music.
The
business
venue
in the
itself
city
is the
of
business
Piedmont.
license.
Oh, but I mean,
Yeah, the venue or the
not the
promoter.
band would get the
Right.
license, the place itself.
No, the
Okay, that's what I'm
band.
saying. Okay, I
The
misunderstood
band
how
or
it
the
was.
DJ or whoever's providing the karaoke must have a license in the city
But
of
if
Piedmont to do
through whatever
business.
they're playing at, the place itself, okay. I mean, because the other place wasn't making sense to me.
All right, let's move on here with the, under new business. We can't vote on this right now, but I do want to bring it up to get it on the agenda for next time. Where the plaque's going out here, the people that are putting up the plaque there, that we voted on before, want to know if it'd be all right to put some decorative gravel around it. Like I said, we can't vote on that right now, but I'd like to have that on the agenda for next time, Phil, if you could possibly make a note of that.
Carrie.
Carrie.
Just a,
I didn't know you was over there.
You told me to.
because I'm quiet for a change.
Well, that's probably true.
No, I just wrote it down. I'll put it on there.
Okay. So that's, to be voted on next time. It's not on the agenda now. The grant amendment extension to be signed, you all have the grant amendment, which is, it's not really an amendment per se. It's an extension to get us, see our extension is close to running out. We need to have an extension to carry on with the money that we have to put instrumentation in the water plant. That's going to be basically extending us close to another year, but if we're done with this, which I hope it's done with way before that year, because we can't apply for the small city block grant with this open grant. So we need to get these guys moving on this. The outstanding bill that we have, or the money we have in the block grant, is like $9,000 some odd dollars that's going to the instrumentation. Let's see if I can find this whole thing here. The whole deal was for like $700,000 for the new tank, all of the fittings and stuff that they done up there, and the instrumentation on the turbidity of the new water tank, and the instrumentation inside. So the total funds available yet is $12,831.20. So that's basically what we're voting on, is in order to keep this small city block grant going, to be able to get this project completed with the instrumentation before it runs out, I guess. And this is by Mary Jo Thompson, the director of the Small City Block Grant. And this signed extension that we got in here is considered amendment number 2 to the small cities. And there's a breakdown. Do y'all got this? Okay, well, I told Phil earlier on that the water department person needed it. You have it on there. If you look at all the stuff that's on there, that's the money that's been paid out so far. And the monies that we have left over is how much?
Is it the 6379 account, Small Cities Block Grant?
Yes.
The money we have in there is $45,513.13.
Well, there's that's what we want to spend so as it doesn't go back. So we have to have an extension on our request for the project amendment. So I guess I'll entertain the thought right now that we sign this amendment so we can extend this grant. And it says down here that the reason for the amendment, the engineer has determined $2,903 of inspection funds were not drawn. The city is requesting that $975.11 of this fund be used to cover the CO2 for the upgrade of the turbidity on the plant. There's a couple of different things that's already in progress that hasn't been paid out of that account. But, yeah, you got it right there. So I guess what I need is a,
I'll make a motion that we sign the grant amendment extension, grant amendment extension period.
all in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, I will sign this and send it back to Pam and Region 8, and they'll update our, which will put us up to 2018, but I hope that this is all ratified and gone before that time, because I already have phase 3 of the water project in play. So, okay, I'll sign this when we get to it. This is, did Pam call you, Terry?
Pam, she sent some emails. Her brother is not very well. He had a heart attack. So she is like not in her office probably till Friday. But she did call me with some figures, however she didn't. And she said she was gonna send an email with what I had to spend or, make out, but she didn't do that. All she did was send like a bunch of papers, forward a bunch of papers actually, for the Pearl Street.
So has this
What-
been paid to them?
Huh?
No, that came a while ago. That's why I
Yeah,
put it
that's
in
on,
there.
that was on the 19th.
Right.
I think what I'm gonna do, I guess I'll just get the council's approval to sign this and make sure what I'm signing before we do all this. It appears to be just an extension.
That's what she said it was.
So, I'll call Pam before we do this and make sure, how's that sound? Okay, so we do have the approval to sign this, correct? Alright, moving on along. Water plant service contract. You have that in front of you, Dawn. There's one copy. Should have a copy. I had a little bit of it. Okay, well, let me just tell you what this is all about. First off, what's the figures here, Dawn? The numbers.
$1,229.
Basically, what this is, it's a service contract, and it's yearly. All the metering and stuff that we have at the water plant is under that service contract. Service contract runs out at the end of this month. I think, don't say there when the expiration date is.
August 17th at 17th.
Okay, so we've got till the 17th of August. But anyhow, this contract will pay for anything that's, it's like insurance. It's a roll of the dice. We're betting something will happen, they're betting it ain't. So it's really the way everybody looks at this, whether we want to go with this service contract or we want to take a chance. But I do want to let you know that just that turbidity meter is around $40,000.
Better off to get insurance of it.
Well, it's a lot of money to pay for insurance, but it's a lot of money if you have one failure too. So I want to leave it on you guys' shoulders whether you want to renew this contract or.
I'll make a motion to renew the water plant service contract in the amount of $1,129.
No, with tax, it's $1,302.74.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, motion moved, we'll accept the water contract. You have another copy of the contract, right?
Not, no.
Well, Dawn has it here, and she would probably need another copy of that for her records. Alright. Region 8 payment due.
That's what I have.
That's what you just showed me, so you just showed me.
This is dated July 19th, says Bill Carey. I forgot to mention to you today, when you deposit small cities funds into the checking account, the checks must be written out within 3 working days. This is SCBG regulation. The $4,506.29 that was transferred to checking account number 6379 should be made payable to Region A PDC soon. So we need to get them paid, because they haven't been already.
Well, I don't think
This has
they,
not been paid, correct, Carrie?
Excuse me?
Nothing has been paid to this, right?
That's the first I've seen of any of that. So I told her, and she said, I could wait till this meeting.
Okay, well, I make a motion that we pay Region 8 $4,506.29 from Small City Block Grant, which is sewer repair project.
well, see, that's what's gonna dwindle down that,
Yeah,
that money that you have there showing 45,000.
yeah.
And that was for how much?
$1,506.
How much?
$4,506.29.
4,320 on the spreadsheet.
This
Gary, this is the original, is this one that needs to be
You want me to
sent
send that?
back?
Yeah,
Signed and sent back?
yeah, just, you can lay it on Phil's desk.
There you go.
Well,
I don't know if they want it mailed or scanned and emailed.
my spreadsheet is saying 1,320.09.
This one says 4,506.29. What did yours say?
$4,320.09.
Well, we can still call Region 8 tomorrow, either, or Friday. We can call tomorrow or Friday and make sure of the amount that we're going to be writing them a check for.
Well, that's why I always keep this spreadsheet and it comes out pretty good. Right down here under account.
Let's see.
Did somebody second that?
Oh. Okay, all in favor of this payment? Anyone opposed? Okay, we'll pay that. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is library monies.
That was me. Up until 2011, the city didn't give the library any money, and there was no big deal about it, but it was always that the town paid for the water and the garbage for the library. In 2011, I can't even remember who was mayor, but they decided to start giving the library $800 a year. Because we got paying the water bill and the garbage was called in-kind donation. But West Virginia was gonna cut out in-kind donations, so the town started giving us $800 a month. So,
A month?
a year, sorry. So in 11 and 12, we got the $800. And then the council was gonna up it to 1,000. But since 2011, we've got it in 11 and 12. We didn't get anything in 13 or 14, and we got 1,000 in 15. But it was budgeted every year. And then in March of 2013, when Ray Hall was here, he said the library getting free water was a crime. So the library started paying the water bill. So since March of 2013, we've been paying the water bill and we haven't been getting any city money, so I was just wondering. Then it was found out that we could get free water, but it just had to be metered. That was the whole thing, it wasn't illegal. It had to be metered and shown that it was given. So I was just wondering if we were budgeted to get a raise this year to $1,500, but like I said, we haven't got any money from the city since we got 1,200. Like I said, I know the city was hurting for money, but I was just wondering if it went somewhere else or.
Well, we're trying to find out a lot of that stuff,
Yeah,
as
that's what I
you
mean.
know.
So I'm not making a big deal about it, but like I said, I've been at the library for over 40 years, and it was always we didn't pay for water, and that worked for us. But now our water bill's like $60 or $70, so we're paying almost $1,000 to the city and getting nothing in return.
That's what we want.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, okay, if what kind of a,
So in 13 and 14, was that $800 or was that?
I can't remember what year they wrote. I got the budgets down there. When we did the budget
look at the
thing.
budget right here in my hand.
Well, this year's budget, it's $1,500.
My good golly.
That we budgeted again.
I don't know, let's see.
But we were put into the city budget in 2011.
Well, how much you asking for?
I'm not asking for, I'm just making a statement.
Yeah,
Whether
but,
I can
mean,
either not pay a water bill again or start getting the city money.
But if you were budgeted,
It's been budgeted since 2011, and I've only got 3 payments. Like I said, I know the town doesn't have the money, and I'm not making a big deal about it. I'm just saying, I was just wondering if it went somewhere else.
Well, that's Carrie and
Yeah, it was
Carrie and
budgeted.
Phil were looking into
Yeah.
all this stuff, and we don't know some of the things that
Yeah, I know.
And, let's see.
The library should have 1,600, it says.
1,600?
That's what the new budget
Oh.
says for this year.
Where are you finding that at? I can't, I guess I'm wrong.
On my copy.
What page is it?
Yep, there it is, we got it.
Okay.
If I would've went one more page, I'd have it. But okay, there it is, and I guess what we need to do is, flip this budget to, it really does, I think what we ought to do is stick with the budget and give the library.
And it was always like paid in March.
Well, let me ask you this,
So-
instead of, like, cutting a check for 1,600, can we like split this up into 12 installment payments through the year?
Well, as long as, I think, as long as it comes out of the, budget, and it is in here, $1,600, we all approved it.
And like I said, 2011 was the first year. I got from my reports to the library, starting in 2001, the in-kind, the way we had it figured out was 564, 624, 1,080, that was the water bill and the garbage. And like I said, in 2010, they were gonna cut out in-kind donations, so me and Judy came to the board, to the meeting and asked if the town could start giving us an actual donation because they weren't gonna accept in-kind donations. So they budgeted us for 800 in 2011. And we got that in 11 and 12. Like I said, and then in 13, then we started paying the water bill.
That would be
So that was
$133,
giving it all back anyway.
33 cents a month.
So it would be okay to give this donation on a monthly basis,
Yeah.
but rather than pay it. But how does our income come around?
Right, that's like, so I don't know what it came out of. When I looked on my books, it was always paid out like in March before the end of, I said June, the end of the fiscal
Right.
year. It was always given out in March.
Well, March
Used
is
to be.
a
I just-
higher income month because of the taxes and such, but, I mean, I think we could handle it if you were to be willing to take it monthly.
Yeah.
We're looking to
I
see
think I
what
can
happens.
get back and paying the water bill on behalf, you know what I mean? That's $60 and $70 a month. That would equal it out.
Yeah, but I think what we ought to need to do is start sticking with the budget we approved. And, you know, that's where we ran into problems before. You know, we budgeted so much for, street repairs and all that, and then come time to do it, we never had money to do it. So, you know, that's why we think, we all think that we ought to stick to this budget so as we can do what we say we're gonna do with it. But there's all kinds of stuff that comes up.
Oh, I know, like I
understand
said, I don't have a problem with it. I just wanted to bring it to your attention, because the one time I mentioned it, and you said I should have kept track of it.
that.
I
Yes,
did keep track of it, but I knew the town didn't have money. But with other things going on, I just,
Yeah, if it was supposed to go to the library and
didn't.
and they found out otherwise.
Like I said, if the town needed it for something else, there's no
well,
problem, but.
there was a lot of things that we paid a lot of money out for. That big water leak we had over there in the mill line, that cost us through the nose. We had to pay the railroad. I don't forget what it was. You remember, T.I.?
$1,000.
It was more than that.
That was just for the flag, wasn't it?
That was just for the flag.
Well, that's what we paid. We didn't pay nothing. That was just for the flagman, but it was like $1,000 per man or something like that, wasn't it?
2 men.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
So there's $6,000.
Yeah.
So I forget what it was, but I had to call. We got that cut down some. I had to call Jacksonville to the railroad thing, and we got some of that cut back, but we still had to pay a good bit of it. Then the stuff that we used for repairs over there cost a pretty good penny too. But anyhow, before we go making any accusations, we need to know where this money went. But to get back on track, I guess I'll entertain a motion to pay the library, on a monthly basis
I'll
of
make a motion that we pay the library their allotment in 12 installments of $133.33.
all in favor. Anyone opposed?
What was it?
$133.33, and you can add like 503s after it, because
Okay, no one opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next thing on our agenda here is the information on real estate for the Dale Miller property, which
Took care of. Sorry.
we did,
Yes, remember I showed you,
and it's the way I said it was.
of course.
Okay. To bring you all to light a little bit, through this sewage agreement, there's a 30-foot track down by the Walden Church. Wasn't it 30 feet to that? Yeah. And, actually, we had our fence over on that property. So Mr. Miller said that he would sell us the property rather than give us an easement to go across it. So with the grant from the water project, they allow us to use some of that money to purchase the property to be able to put a permanent structure on. So that's how we came about the property, because we have to, those muffin monsters are gonna go somewhat on that property to, it's on the very corner, but it's still on the property. So we acquired the property through this grant, so, the whole question came up, do we pay tax on it? Which is now ours, do you need to pay the tax on it? So, that's, pretty much straightforward. And, I guess, do we need a motion to pay the tax, or do we? I mean, it's gonna be an ongoing bill.
It's only like $60.
Yeah, 62 something.
Yeah.
Well, could we annexate ground to what we already have there? And make it into one deed?
You have to rezone it.
Well, I don't know that we don't have a deed for it exactly yet. I mean, it's already been transferred and all, but, Nelson Michaels still hasn't written us up the deed saying it's ours. And to combine them two, I don't know, but it may come out worse than it is this way.
I make a motion to pay the tax on the acquired property for the
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, we'll pay the tax on the property, which is something that we really need to do anyhow. Next thing is the grant award notice for the West Virginia Culture and History. That's yours, Susan.
Yeah, all that is money we've already gotten that we just spent in July for this year.
Yeah.
And it's just the report that I have to fill out and send back in.
Okay, so you'll take care of that. Okay, the next thing is, to pay the employees every 2 weeks. I know Mickey's been here again. Right?
I was late for work one morning, he caught me outside.
Yeah. Well,
well, that would be up to you two, I would say, if you want to deal with it every 14 days.
it comes out about the same
It
for
does
the
pretty
agency,
much.
no matter how you do it.
And we figured it up, there would only be 3 months every year that would have 3 pays in it. He said it was told to him that if that was to happen, then a paycheck would have to be held because I don't know why. I don't know the
Well-
reasoning behind that.
Well, I know why, because right now we're paid, if you was to start an every 2-week thing, they're either gonna be held back one pay period, or we're gonna pay one pay period ahead.
No, because actually, the 31st, if we started this Friday, the 31st is Monday.
Is Monday,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay, so if you was to pay this Friday, the 28th,
Uh-huh,
Monday would start a new pay period.
right.
And in 2 weeks, we would pay again. Instead of waiting till Monday and putting Monday on this paid period and then paying them not till Tuesday or Wednesday before we can get the checks out.
Well, you know, it's fine with me, however you all wanna do it, because,
It's not a problem for me.
That's good.
well, if it's not a problem, then it shuts Mickey up.
Problem for you?
No, I'm serious, it's not a problem. I mean,
I didn't see where it would have been a problem the last
good
time,
with
but
it
it was
too?